Barakatah Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Shai, Bashim Kadash. What you see here is the Prime Minister of St. Vincent. Little island St. Vincent, that's the Prime Minister. And he's been there for Prime Minister since what, 2001? He had the people so-called unlocked for the longest, They've been trying to get him out of there, but he keeps winning, man. So I made the time that we're living in, everything was fine, the lockdown, whatever. There wasn't any need for a lockdown over there, but he still locked the place down because, following orders. So he followed that order just, to implement whatever he's implementing now. So he's making the serum mandatory. People aren't having it because he's making it to the point where if you don't have the serum, it can't work. And the people in St. Vincent, they don't play that. They're a little bit more rambunctious. They're very honest, straightforward. There might not be like how can I put this? They might not be savvy when it comes to tricking you. I mean, they're jakes. They're gonna, everyone's gonna pull their punches, but they're more like straightforward. Their word is their word, whatever kind of, they kind of live by those kind of mantras. So, anyways, on Friday, Thursday, they had a protest there, and this is different between the protest in other countries and the protest here. The protests here, people don't get hurt. That's how the government know that you people, you guys are just talking. In other countries, this is the small island of St. Vincent. The Prime Minister got hurt, man. He got hit in the head with probably a rock or a bottle or something. Look at his face, he's distraught, man. Why? Because he's trying to pull that serum, try to put that serum and make it mandatory. And I have a cousin that guards this, who used to guard this guy. So, now the people, as the Bible says, are not going to have any regards for their princes, and that's gonna you're already starting to see that in Europe. Second Esdras. And it says here, 2nd Esdras 15 and 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings or princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go in the city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride, and the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right? And this is exactly what you're starting to see going around the world. They're starting to not have any respect for their prime ministers, their presidents, right? Because that the Lord had taken away that blockage and that wall off of their eyes that princes and politicians usually have, right? Whenever they, back in the day, a prime minister or a president says something, and if it's your president, you're going to agree with him wholeheartedly. And even if it's all bullshit, you're still going to agree with him. But in these times, people are not caring anymore because, they know that they're full of shit. And the Lord has put that spirit on the people to not respect these leaders, right? It's that time. So these leaders are gonna get desperate, and they're gonna be as dictators, right? So they're just gonna prove that they're like the people always right about them. You know, they're gonna go into kill mode. They're gonna go into that mode where they not give a shit about anyone else but themselves. I mean, the prime ministers and presidents, the kings and princes were always like this, but and this time they're gonna know that they're like this because of that the Lord had taken away that wool from off the people's eyes, right? And they're gonna hold you accountable for all the shit that you've been doing to them. I'm gonna read that again. For there shall be sedition among men, and in St. Vincent there's sedition right now. It doesn't matter if you voted for him or voted against him. Everyone's coming against the government. That's sedition, right? They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power, because they're gonna take over. They're gonna be like, you know what, we got this. You know, and look at his face. He's distraught, man, because for years he had the people's minds, you know, raping women, raping Israelite women, right? Everyone didn't see anything. No one says anything because, you know, he's a prime minister and whatever he says goes. But now with this concoction, this serum, no one cares about that, because no one cares about him anymore, because the people see that he doesn't give a damn about them. Okay, he only that whole serum puts money in their pockets and leave the people to suffer and die with this serum in them, right? People were yelling it's the mark of the beast. And it's not the mark of the beast that's leading to it, right? So the people in St. Vincent, which are Israelites, they're ready to resist the mark. You know, a lot of them are going to resist the mark. They're going to have to bring in the military to mark these people up, right? Because a couple of months ago there was a volcanic eruption there, and guess what happens? This guy brought in 2 cruise ships right before the eruption. There were already 2 cruise ships waiting, and you know, in order for them to get off the island, they had to take that serum. So he's been and the people tell him to go F himself, man. You know, they're like, we'll take our chances with the volcano than to take that serum in us. So the people, you know, they know what's going on. The Lord is the one that's doing that, right? And these leaders are gonna die, man. I keep saying this. The people are gonna take these leaders out, right? They're gonna die of miserable and shameful deaths in these streets, man, because they've been tricking the people and doing bullshit to the people for years. And it's time for them to pay up, right? Their children too, not just them and their children, right? Because they think that they run the people's mind, but the people are not stupid. They just put you in power because they want you to be in power, not because anything else, right? But this man is a big time. He sold the people out, and the people know it, and it's time for him to pay, and the rest of the leaders also, the puppet leaders that, you know, that's being put on the forefront to do the elite's biddings. So shalom.